Thanks for tuning in to Bourbon Drop. I'm your host, Myron. Today, we've got an extension of the 4-state hunt haul video. If you saw that video, you know I picked up a ton of bottles, but I still got a lot of bottles throughout the month of October. So we're going to get into those bottles. But before we get into those bottles, you guys know what I need you to do. Run on over to Patreon, become a Patreon member. Shout out to Victor Santiago and Jay Glover. We've got 2 Bottle Drop tier members. I will be sending them 2 of the glasses just as thanks and just to say and show my appreciation for you guys going over to Patreon. Also, the links to the Westward Pick, they are in the description of this video. Also, they're over on the Patreon and they're available to all members. So you guys can go over there. Even I saw that there are some free members signed up. So all members have access to that post that contains those links. The links will be in this video as well. What else? Yeah, glasses. I got to put the glasses link in there too. Got to get the glasses link in the description for you guys. I appreciate all of the customers that have bought glasses so far. Some of them have bought multiple bundle packs. Some of them have bought multiple singles. Right now, the price has been slashed in half. No, matter of fact, to a third of the original price because I wasn't satisfied with the size of the logo on the glass. So I will put that up there too. Anyway, let's get into these bottles because some of these are actually going to be Patreon only releases. Now you'll get a short clip in the, like I did with the Old Soul video. That was a Patreon only release, but you got short clips of it to hopefully drive some traffic over to Patreon. But let's start with the first bottle. This will be a Patreon exclusive. This is the 5-year Pinhook blended for Virginia ABC. Now it says blended by, but we know more than likely it was blended for Virginia ABC. This says it's a small batch. It's got all of the information right here on the back. It's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 barrels in it. It comes in at 120 proof. So this one right here, this was a pickup from the Virginia ABC. I think I spent, I think it was $58.99. So it was not a bad price. The only problem is when you start to get into things that are like 100 proof, you start to compete with Knob Creek. That single barrel Knob Creek is a beast. So, you know, if you're coming in at 120 proof and you're charging above that, just think about the competition. Anyway, another ABC pick. Now, this has been a favorite of mine lately, man. This, I got to do the review just to give you guys the tasting and nose and notes. I already shot it. I just haven't, I haven't edited the review yet. But this has been a go-to when it's time to get out on the porch or the deck in the back and just burn a stick real quick, man. This thing right here goes, I mean, look, Maduros, Corojos, Habanos, I mean, you name it, this thing is a do-it-all. I paired it with anything from the strongest to the lightest, what is the Cameroon wrapper? I think that one is the Oliva O. So this right here is a do-it-all. But we will get into that. I will release that review coming up shortly. All right, I've got so many over here. Let me see. What other one came from the Virginia ABC? I don't think I have any more that came from the Virginia ABC. I do have one that was sent to me, but we'll get into that one in a second. Oh, here it is. So I'm pretty sure you just saw the new C924 video, the Elijah Craig Barrel Proof C924 that I put out. I enjoyed that thing so much that I happened to be in a Virginia ABC and it happened to be sitting on the shelf. I was just like, what? Because I have been hunting for the Larceny. That Larceny C924 has not rolled out in VA yet. I have not seen it around me in Maryland, so I've been hunting that thing. But to come across something like this, I was happy. I was like, what else could you ask for? So, all right, let's go to the next bottle. So this is a bottle that I've been wanting to get for a while. This is the Jamesy Pepper decanter bottle. Now, I just had somebody reach out in the comments because I did the Is Whiskey Getting Worse video. And this was one of the bottles that they said that they thought wasn't as good as they had it previously 3 years ago. I'm shocked that this bottle has been out 3 years. I thought this was a newer release than two years. I thought it was like maybe around like a year and a half, 2 years. But anyway, he says that it's not the same. I've been loving this bottle. I love the sample that I got from another channel. Can't think of that channel right now. I do apologize. I like to shout everybody out. But This thing right here, man, it is just so cherry forward. The one thing that I will knock this bottle on, because supposedly they're all different batches, they all have different proofs. This is batch number 64. This one comes in at 53.2 proof. So, you know, it's 106.4. Yeah, 106.4. So, I've heard that the different batches have different proofs and they taste different. I'm not going to sit there and hunt every batch. The first sample that I got, I can't remember what the proof was on that or what batch that was, but I remember that one being very cherry forward, and this is too. But getting back to the knock on it. So the only knock that I'll say is the finish is very, it's like, it's charry and like leathery. It's not approaching that like black licorice note, but it's like if you can mix like just heavy char and leather. Which I don't mind char, but I find it a little weird on the finish. But all in all, I think it is an excellent bottle. All right, so next up, this is probably going to be a Patreon only release as well. This is the Wild Turkey 70th anniversary. This is the Wild Turkey 101, 8 years. You know, it's not super special, you know, because it's pretty much just 8-year-old turkey. Now you do have the 12-year-old turkey, and I don't think there's another, I don't think there's like a 13. I think it's just a 12-year-old turkey. I think that's the travel exclusive one. I have had a sample of that. I thought that thing was excellent. However, I have gotten this thing down close to the shoulder just to, you know, see what it tastes like. And so far, so good. So I can't wait to get the review out on that. Like I said, this will definitely be a Patreon only release. And this one right here will more than likely be a Patreon only release. All right, so this is another bottle that I've never purchased. I've seen a lot, but I've never purchased this bottle. Now this is the Nika straight from the barrel. I don't know much about it. I meant to do some homework on it before I even put it on this episode. Still haven't gotten around to it. It doesn't say anything about any age statements being on here. Now we know that whiskey in the United States, to be sold without an age statement, has to be at least 4 years old. I tasted this thing. One thing I like about whiskeys other than bourbon that come from outside of the United States, they seem to have this really, really creamy mouthfeel. And this Nika straight from the barrel is no different. This thing comes in at 102.8 proof. I'm sorry, it's 51.4 ABV. So this is 102.8 proof. So that thing is actually really, really good. Now, this is a bottle that I talked about in that video. I think it was the Whiskey Getting Worse, which was the 5-year Tumbling Dice from 925. Had to slide through and pick it up. Right now, I think it's $49.99. If they run it on sale, it goes for around $34.99. That's the cheapest I think I've ever gotten it for. But these are just excellent bottles. Like I said, maple syrup and bacon on top of pancakes all day long. This is a bottle that I picked up today. Shout out BK Miller. They had so much stuff in there. A couple Pursuit Uniteds. They had the Pursuit that was, I think it was American oak and French oak. They had, what else, man? They always have a lot of good stuff. Oh, one bottle that surprised the heck out of me was the Uncle Nearest. Now, the thing I like about BK Miller is you can go in there, they've got their picks, they've got samples of bottles that even if they don't have a pickup, sometimes they'll have samples that you can try. So I tried this. This is the Knob Creek. This is the Burr Rye. Burr Rye, so blended straight whiskeys. This is the 9-year-old, which is 30% of the regular Knob Creek 9-year-old, and then it's 70% of the Kentucky straight rye whiskey that's aged for 7 years. Comes in at 113 proof. Tried it, liked it, but that Uncle Nearest barrel proof or single barrel proof that they have is, man, if it wasn't $90 today, because they had it on sale for $89.99. If it wasn't $90 today, and I already have, like I said, we got the 4-state haul hunt video. That was about 12 bottles, and then you can count up what I have here. So that's a lot of bottles. So, but anyway, I would have picked that thing up, man. I thought that thing was excellent. I told my man Scott, shout out Scott, I said, Scott, man, I gotta go back and get that bottle. Because the reason why I went there in the first place was because Scott told me that they had a JD SBBP rye pick, which they did, and it was on sale. Now, I know for some states this is going to seem a little high. It was on sale for $69.99. I think that's exactly what it goes for at the Virginia ABC. I can't remember. I have gotten it as low as $54.99, the total wine pick that I got when I was in Florida. But, you know, that's still a great price for a pick. Anyway, also, another reason why I picked this Nika up is because the guys who saw my hunt video where I had Maniquí wine and spirits in it, and I said, man, that's the cheapest price I had ever seen it for. I think somebody reached out in the comments and said the same thing. They said that's an excellent price because $75.99 is not a bad price. I think it was $75 or $74.99. That is not a bad price for this Nika straight from the barrel because I've seen it as high as $89.99, $99.99. I think I've seen it even higher than 100 in some spots, but it's been a while because I really don't check for them. But anyway, let's get to the bottle that was sent to me. So this is the new release from Barrell that they sent to me. Shout out to the folks at Barrell, man. I can't wait to get this review done. This is the new Barrell finished in ice wine. Now they have to put 5 years on this thing because that is the youngest whiskey that's in it. But wait until I read to you what they have. So in this bottle, they've got from Kentucky, they've got 5 and 8-year-old, my eyes are now what they used to be. They've got 5 and 8-year-old Kentucky. From Indiana, they've got 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 11. Then from Tennessee, they've got 9 and 15. And then from Wyoming, they have 9 years old. So this thing has some pretty old whiskey in it. And I got to give a shout out to the people at Barrell, man, because I tasted this thing and I've tried to blend stuff. I've entered 2 blend competitions, always held by Baker Drink. So if you haven't been to that channel, go check that channel out. They had a blend vent and then they had another one. So the blend vent is coming up, but to be able to blend this many barrels from this many states, just different climate locations, I mean everything that you could think of, and blend them together and get something that tastes good. You do have to be a master. So I got to give it to the folks over at Barrell, man. But anyway, these bottles will be coming up on the channel, the ones that I haven't done review for already, which this one has been on the channel already. This one was on a Sunday sample, so if you haven't seen the Jamesy Pepper, check it out. The Elijah Craig just released that one, so go ahead and check that one out. It'll probably be in one of the boxes to my right-hand side. The Burrai or Burai, the Knob Creek, definitely got to get that one on the channel. These two will be Patreon only exclusive. I'm just gonna go ahead and say it. This will be a Patreon only exclusive. This right here, like I said, is recorded, hasn't been edited yet, and just to do something different, man, just change it up a little bit. I gotta get this Nika straight from the barrel on the channel, and with that being said, let the whiskey flow. Never run out unless you hit it to a drop. Till next time.